apologies there. We have race 24 postponed, so we actually have race 25 here on screen. This is the Fawley, and we have a start with the Tideway Scullers School A on the left-hand side of your screen and Marlow Rowing Club A on the right-hand side of your screen. So race 24 has been postponed. This is race 25, the Fawley Challenge Cup.
Again, fierce starts from these crews, one of the toughest events. The stewards have said Fawley Challenge Cup got particular high quality this year, and these crews are here to really put down their markers. Again, of course, it's coxless, so we've got the challenge of steering. It's the fastest boat that there is, coxless, a quad, but they've done pretty well here. They're quite close together, both in terms of where they're stationed on the river, but also in terms of how well they're going. So they've had a good, clean start. And now let's see, I think Scullers starting to show on the far side a little, but it's still pretty tight.
And I'm always just completely awed by the standard of these junior men's and women's quadruple sculls. I mean, they're just so strong every year. The calibre of the athletes and the quality of the rowing in these boats, it's just absolutely phenomenal. And we can see two really class acts here. We saw that Tideway, they were just popping ahead, but it looks like Marlow Rowing Club has pulled them back, so they're almost dead level here, but just quality rowing year after year in these junior events.
Yeah, and this is great for Marlow. They've had sort of a bit of a disappointing season in many ways. They have always high expectations. Marlow won the event in 2013, and so they like to be one of those crews that's sort of up there with a shout of winning things at the weekend. And so they've really been trying to kind of rebuild, learn through the season, and improve. But they're not that experienced in the Marlow crew, so I think at the moment they'll be pretty happy with how this is. But they have to kind of stay in there and actually try and find a way to get on top, whereas Scullers are just a little more relaxed, perhaps just slipping away a little bit now.
And I mean, the calibre of this Tideway Scullers School A crew is incredibly high. Of course, it is one of the stalwarts of junior rowing, but also the achievements of the athletes within the crew. Alex Jonas in the bow seat, gold at the Brit Champs for the 15s Cox quad, silver at the Brit Champs for the 16s quad, at the Junior 17 doubles. In the 2-seat, Josh Lawrence. In the 3-seat, Adam Oliver, Lawrence Joss in the 2-seat, and Alfie Hill in the stroke seat, who is a junior British champion in the quad. So incredibly strong pedigree of athletes in that Tideway Scullers School A crew.
Yeah, and that's starting to show now. I think that experience, that just racing, they've raced internationally, so they are just that little bit more experienced. We've got a little bit of steering challenges for the Marlow crew as they start to come together in the middle of the course. Marlow having to steer now away, that's going to cost them a lot because they're going to have to adjust again, because at the moment they're heading towards the booms, and of course every time you put the rudder on, actually you're putting a brake on the boat, so that's going to allow Tideway Scullers to get ahead even further now.
That was a big adjustment, and as you say, Kath, quite costly at this point in time, where this is a critical point in the race where Marlow is still in contact with Tideway, but I think that really did cost them about maybe even half a length there, unfortunately. But Tideway certainly making the most of that little mistake and pushing out ahead, but it looks like Marlow are coming back towards the centre again, so they are struggling with their steering here.
I'm impressed at actually how well Marlow are doing, bearing in mind they've got a rudder on all this way, and they've got a brake on their boat, and Tideway Scullers actually haven't got a brake on their boat. They are managing to stay together. It's a real shame that they're not getting the boat speed for the effort they're putting in because of the steering. Presumably that's a little bit the popple on the water that of course makes that much harder, but it should be allowing Tideway Scullers to really get some extra feet ahead of them. But they're having to go flat out in this race. This is not an easy race for them.
No, not an easy race at all. We can see that they've got the beat up. They're rowing very nicely together there. Tideway Scullers, we see them on screen. They've really steered this very well. I think that tactically they've really just put in a few punishing sort of pushes at the right time, and they capitalised on that little steering mistake that we saw from Marlow. Marlow quite close to the booms there, so they'll just have to be careful with their steering. It is incredibly unsettling when you are the person with the rudder on your foot. Ooh, we can see their blades are getting very close to the boom there, so I think they'll be a little bit nervous here, but they've just got to stay composed and make sure that they stay in the centre of their lane.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great effort from them, and they've slightly overcorrected, and they've paid for that. They've allowed themselves to be put under more pressure, from the steering challenges as well. But here we go again. They're now steering out into the middle. So it's amazing how close they're managing to stay, despite the fact that they're going to yeah, they're going to be losing speed from steering, which is a real shame for them. They're a new crew. They've got some new boys in there. Marlow doesn't have school boys generally rowing for them. They're from other people from the area who go to the boat club, because there's the Great Marlow School that row from Marlow. There's the Borley School that row in their own right. And usually Connor Fairman, who's was given permission from Borley's to row with the senior men, and he's developed a lot this year and is on a journey. I think all of the boys in the Marlow crew, their development for the future years, there's a bit more experience in that Scullers crew, and we can see that now. They've really got a comfortable margin now and stretching away. Great technique. They come into the enclosures now. They're going to be feeling much more comfortable. I think they've cracked them.
As we come up towards the enclosures, they've looked very composed the entire way. The Tideway Scullers School A crew on the right-hand side of your screen. We know Marlow were really struggling with their steering down the track here, which has cost them. But some great racing from both crews. They certainly put themselves out there.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, all of these boys are both technically impressive and physiologically impressive. And they're giving it all. And this has not been an easy road for Tideway Scullers, despite having that junior international experience in the crew. And the Marlow boys, they'll have learnt a lot from this row. And they've, again, technically very impressive with that pottle and with the staring challenges. So really look at that back shot there. Great unison there. The length, pretty much parallel blades all the way down. They're going to be all the time looking for how can they pick up speed through the next rounds, because this is one of the best quality, highest quality events.
And I think that Marlow have actually done quite a good job in this race. They really have put themselves out there. I would have expected maybe to see Tideway School, Scullers School, apologies, a little further ahead earlier on in the piece. So I think that Marlow have really raced out of their skins to be in contention, particularly considering the steering issues that they had. They were third in the B final at the National Schools Regatta. So to actually be competitive in this race with Tideway Scullers School A, I think they've done a great job. But we see them come across the line now, the Tideway Scullers School A crew taking out this round of the Fawley Challenge Cup over Marlow. And we had a postponement, as we said earlier, of race 24. The Y-Folds between Rex Boat Club and Upper Thames Rowing Club. That will actually be happening tonight at 7:50. So race 24, the Y-Fold between Rex Boat Club and Upper Thames Rowing Club, will be happening tonight at 7:50.